Hello, and welcome to the first in a series of shows I will be doing called Corporate Free Media. My name is Reed Webster, and today's show is an interview I had with Senator Mike Gravel, a Democratic candidate for president. Mr. Gravel was a senator in Alaska from 1969 to 1981. He is an outspoken opponent to the Iraq War, yet not too many people have heard of him. Since people don't hear much about Senator Gravel from the mainstream media, I think this interview is appropriate to lead off my shows. Enjoy, and please check closed minds at the door. I guess the first thing I want to ask you about is your national initiative. If you could explain how that works.
24 states in the United States have initiative laws where people can make laws, getting together, decide what they want, and then it's presented to the people of the state. They vote on it, and if they vote affirmatively, it becomes the law of that state. 24 states can do this, and over 200 communities in the nation can do it. In fact, most Americans have made law when they vote for a bond issue or against the bond issue. That's serious lawmaking. So the question that I ask is, if Americans, as state citizens and local citizens, can make laws, why can't we do that at the federal level? And that, I think, would make a fundamental change in our system of governance. And so I have written over a period of a decade a law called the National Initiative for Democracy. And this is a constitutional amendment and a federal statute that the people can vote for by going to the site nationalinitiative.us. When you're there, you can vote for it. And 2 weeks later, if you change your mind, you can vote against it. You can go back and see how you voted. Now, once this is enacted into law, this will provide for people to make laws in every government jurisdiction of the United States, including the national, the federal level. I personally feel that the people are qualified to make policies, to make laws on policies that affect their lives. And in so doing, they'll make representative government operate better and more effective. The people will make the policy decisions. Their elected officials then will do the day-to-day operation of government. And you'll see a better result therefrom. There's just no reason why the people should not have this power. And our founding fathers felt that they should. You know, the Declaration of Independence is lawmaking. You know, you're declaring yourself independent. Our founding fathers all felt that the people should be able to make laws. The problem is that the framers at the Constitutional Convention made a pact with the devil and for slavery, and so they locked in 5 areas, and that, of course, was the 3/5 vote of a black person, and then the other 4 areas all locked in, which remain today, except the 3/5, which confound our present government. And the people were pushed aside because they knew in Philadelphia in 1777 that the people would not ratify a constitution that contained slavery. So what they did is they set up a procedure of conventions, where the conventions of 9 states ratifying the Constitution would have made it the law of those 9 states. We now have the ability to ask all Americans, do you want to be empowered as a lawmaker? And if they vote, the majority of them vote, who voted in the last presidential election, vote for this. That's 60 million Americans around that number. 60 million Americans. If they vote for this, it becomes the law of the land, and we've changed the paradigm of human governance by bringing the people into the operation of government as lawmakers in partnership with their elected lawmakers.
Well, it sounds like if this was the law of the land, that it would get Congress and the president off the hook as to ending the war. The people could just end it.
Right now, not only could the people end the war, but the people could turn around and have universal health care, which they're not going to get in the foreseeable future. They could turn around and have reform of our system of taxation. They could do away with the Electoral College. We could have term limits. We could limit the president to 1 term, the senators to 2 terms, the House members for 4 years for 3 terms. And of course limit all the judiciary to 12 years. These are the things that the people could do if they had the power to make laws, but they don't. And so what happens is that we have a monopoly in lawmaking with the elites that control our society and have been controlling our society from day one.
Are there any other countries that have this form of government?
Only one, Switzerland. All the other democracies, or what we call democracies, are representative government. Switzerland in 1848 brought the people into the operation of government through a constitutional change that they made. And from that point forward, now keep in mind, Switzerland has 4 religions, 4 cultures, 4 languages, have no resources. They had just finished in 1848 a 3-year religious civil war. They've been the scourge of wars from time immemorial. And today, 160 years later, the Swiss have lived in peace, and the Swiss per capita are one of the wealthiest people in the world. Does that say something about what will be the results if you bring the people into the operation of government? Peace. Dwight Eisenhower had a great statement. He said, someday the people will want peace so bad they'll push the government aside and grab at peace. Well, that's what the National Initiative or the Federal Ballot Initiative can do for the American people. We can push the government aside and realize peace and cut out this unbelievable expenditure of wealth on a military-industrial complex where we spend more on defense than all the rest of the world put together. No wonder we have problems in education. We have problems with healthcare. We have problems in the infrastructure of the nation. We're just squandering our treasure in wars that are not important to us and which begin to destroy our moral fiber in this country.